Shabbat Shalom. I want to talk to you this week about our Torah portion Vayakel Pekudei. And if that sounds like a double portion, that's because it is. You probably know that there are 52 weeks in the year, and you might also know that there are 54 separate, discrete Torah portions that were set apart somewhere between the 7th and the 10th century by the Masoretic text. And these scholars set apart these individual Torah portions so that we could confront certain subject matter and certain parts of the story all the way through the year in a chronological fashion. Now, there are also times when we read a special portion because a holiday falls on Shabbat. For example, Rosh Hashanah might fall on Shabbat, and we have to read a specific portion for that day. And so if you do the math, you realize that there aren't even 52 weeks of the year in which to accomplish the reading of all of these 54 portions. And so we get a week like we have now, where we read 2 portions at once in a week. Now, that's a pretty auspicious thing, even though it happens quite frequently, because not only do we get to deal with the subject matter of one individual portion, and some of these portions are very linked in their subject matter, but we also get to deal with the consonants of these 2 portions and what they might say together next to one another. So in this particular case, we have one portion that really deals with the nature of community and our participation in that community. That's Vayakel, where we start out with Moses assembling the people of Israel and some instructions coming to that group all together. And the next part of our double portion, Pekudei, actually deals a lot more with the role of an individual and the skills and the individual abilities and possibilities for the individual. And so we have this opportunity in looking at these 2 portions to begin to take a look at the relationship between community and the individual. In the first portion, we're instructed how to observe Shabbat. That's the very first thing that we really do as a community. And then we're also instructed in both portions, actually, details about building this sacred space for God. Instead of building a golden calf, we're given instructions for how to build something that is truly sacred, where God and our community and each of us as individuals will be able to dwell. So why is it particularly lucky or auspicious to be able to deal with this subject matter? I think we can agree that we have moved sufficiently past COVID and the lockdowns to be able to ask ourselves some questions about the nature of our lives. What have we learned from that time period being locked into our homes? And there were some good things that came from that for some people, for sure. What are the things that we left behind that we need to reclaim? How much do we participate in our community right now? And how much are we thinking about ourselves as individuals and the needs that we have as individuals? Have we shown up for each other and participated in the communal psyche? Have we relaxed the experience that we had of fear with other human beings around us? Have we maybe done the other kind of a thing where we've maybe gone too far in the direction of listening to community by way of social media or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or anything like that? Where is that relationship boundary for us between the way in which we participate in the community and the way in which we take care of ourselves as individuals and focus on ourselves? And for every single one of us, that balance is in constant need of shifting. Just at that moment where you think you've struck the perfect balance, that's the moment when you need to rethink that balance and start to think about where you are in that spectrum. So We have this particularly interesting set of Torah portions right now, which can lend to us an opportunity to be self-aware, self-reflective, and to consider the relationship that we have with our community and with ourselves. I hope that gives you some food for thought this week, this weekend, this Shabbat, and that you find a way to take a look at where you have struck just the right balance and where things might need to shift for yourself. Shabbat Shalom.